Dixie. Come here, baby. Okay. Hey guys, so as you guys know, I've been talking for a while about doing this new series on YouTube, and here it is. We're gonna start it today, and I don't know what I'm gonna call it honestly yet. So right now we're just gonna call it, I guess, Lead by Light series, the series of my channel. And I've been doing a lot of thinking in regards to what I want it to be, right? Because for the longest time we've been talking about making it about spirituality, right? And educational videos, but I've also wanted to be doing a vlog and talking about the things that I do in my day-to-day life that have helped me grow and evolve, and share that, you know, which is part of spirituality, which is part of that path. That's my dog. She thinks that she is a fish. She's not. So she will probably end up in the water at some point in this video, and I will have a wet dog in my lap at some point in this video as well. And that's okay. That's okay. Come here, child. Return. Baby girl, come here. Thank you. And so I realized that even though society likes us to put things in boxes and to conform to organization and structure, I'm not going to do that with this series. I'm going to allow myself to sometimes post videos that are vlogs, and sometimes post videos that are educational, and sometimes just do live chats on YouTube for us to just have discussions and for you guys to ask me questions that are part of the series, right? And I hope, well, I know for a fact that some people will resonate with some of the episodes and some people won't, you know, because I know that I've resonated with people throughout my journey, and that's the whole purpose of this, to be raw and vulnerable and to show that our humanness is what connects us, and that this whole idea of perfectionism and facades and masks that we put on in the public eye and with family and friends is not really something that's going to help us connect whatsoever, you know. Forewarning, there's a lot of wind right now, so if this camera falls forward at any point and you see me jolt forward to catch it, you're going to see my athleticism. I'm very proud of that. And if it's not the wind, it's about to be this dog. But so I guess this will be the intro episode, right? So for those of you who don't know me, my journey, how I got into spirituality, I guess that's what I will talk about today. And I won't do the long, lengthy version of it because I know a lot. I'm going to try and keep these videos relatively, like, probably around like 20 minutes or so, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to make like hour-long videos, tangents on lectures and stuff, because let's be honest, like, who wants to... Honestly, there probably are some people who want to sit on YouTube for an hour and listen to things, but I'm going to try and keep them around 20 minutes. Not just for the sake of like my own time and productivity for the day, but for the sake of like short, sweet, to the point videos, because then there's more room for discussion, more room for questions, right? But Thanksgiving weekend of 2018, I was on vacation, and I was in a restaurant with the person I was dating at the time, and I thought I was having an anxiety attack, honestly. And at the time, I very, very rarely had anxiety attacks. I only had one before that. That was like memorable, and it was when I moved to North Carolina from New Jersey, and it's when I saw my brother for the first time in like 3 or 4 years, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just like overwhelmed with emotion, you know. And my mom was like, "You're having an anxiety attack," and I was like, "What?" So fast forward to this Thanksgiving weekend, and I was staying at this restaurant, and I just had like this rush of like energy going. She's in the water. There she goes. Rush of energy going through me. And I looked at him and I was like, I think I'm having an anxiety attack. Come here. And next thing I know, there was a hand on the back of my neck, and I just felt like somebody had pulled me from my physical body. And next thing I know, I'm waking up and I'm like, what just happened? and he said I had a seizure, and I lost consciousness again. And then that second time was really weird, because that second time is when I was out of body, and that's when I saw myself on the floor, and I was like, what the F is going on? Because at this point in my life, I was not spiritual whatsoever. I was working in the corporate world. I just graduated college. I wasn't into religion, and I was smoking a lot of weed. And I was going out with my friends. I was drinking. You know, I was just not doing anything spiritual. And I kind of like believed in like tarot and spirituality and stuff, but I wasn't like watching tarot on YouTube or anything. It was just something that I was like, cool, like that stuff's interesting. But I was into the gym and working out, and like I pick things up and put them down. that was my world, you know, like physique competitions and bikini competitors and stuff like that. I was completing my degree in biology, and now I'm a certified trainer, all that stuff. So anyway, I was out of my body, looking at myself on the floor and hanging out with some people up in the sky, and thought I was talking to people. I thought I was telling them, like, I can't hear you. And they're asking me, like, my name and my birthday and all this stuff, and I thought I was talking to them and telling them, but apparently I wasn't. Apparently my eyes were rolling to the back of my head, and when I came to, I was trying to tell them that I couldn't hear them, and I was losing my vision completely. And I just remember the medic asking me if I was seeing like dots or speckles, and I wasn't in pain or anything. I was just like, yeah, no, it's just going black. It's just going black. And I just remember them walking me out to the ambulance to check my vitals, and my significant other at the time kind of looking at me like, why are you making such light of the conversation? And I don't know if it's because my brain was so damaged. I damaged like 3/4 of my brain that day, because I hit my temple on a window ledge when I fell. But he was like, you were just joking. But I just remember sitting in that restaurant when they had me sitting in a chair before taking me to the ambulance and saying they're pulling me again, and I had a hand on the back of my neck, and it wasn't anybody's physical hand, but it just felt like a hand on the back of my neck, and I was like, they're pulling me again. And it just felt like somebody was pulling me from my body. And that's the day I got into spirituality. I knew that wasn't anybody in that room. And the healing process is really what got me into spirituality, because I thought I was losing my mind. My mother's a psychologist, and my brother is a drug abuse counselor. They both are. They're both drug abuse counselors. They both have degrees in psychology, and I come from a family of very intelligent people. Very intelligent, very insightful people, and I was like, how do I tell my mother that I'm seeing people in my room and I'm hearing things and there's shit going on in my head without being admitted to a psych ward, you know? And then I started like seeing and hearing things, and then they would happen, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And so I was blind and deaf for a few hours. I'm really stubborn. I did not go to a hospital and stay overnight. They were like, you know, you could die. And I was like, that's cool. Send me home. Let me go to sleep. So I was on brain dead watch for 48 hours to make sure that my brain didn't, you know, swell and bleed out. That was cool. And I was paralyzed on the right side of my body in like an excess of like different amounts for about 8 to 9 months. Like some days I couldn't walk, and some days I could, and I was eventually diagnosed with MS and epilepsy, and still to this day I question that, because I'm a firm believer of like how powerful the mind is. And it's cold and my nose is runny, so I'm just gonna let you know if something becomes very unattractive, you know, it's just, it is what it is. And diagnosed with MS and epilepsy, and that's when my world was just like, what the F is going on? Like, what the F is going on? Mind you, like, this is the beginning of my Saturn return too. I was like, what the actual fuck is happening? And so this was the universe's way of saying, like, I got you by your metaphorical balls and I'm gonna make you get into spirituality. And so the doctors were trying to figure out everything to get, like, my leg to not have, like, this spasticity, this tightness in it anymore, and to get my trigeminal neuralgia to go away, and these migraines and these grand mal seizures to stop. And I was talking to my aunt, who's an acupuncturist, and she's like, you should try a Reiki practitioner. I went to this Reiki practitioner. I was walking within like 2 weeks, and I felt great. And then I had this Reiki session, and I told her everything I saw in that Reiki session. I was like, hey, who's this this lady with like 3 faces? And I was like, and why is she like talking to me? She's like, you saw Hecate? And I was like, what? Who's that? And she ended up being my first mentor, you know? And that's when I really dove into spirituality, because I was like, oh, this isn't normal. Like, people don't like go into a Reiki session and like see things. She's like, no, that's typically not how it happens. Typically they lay there and they feel some tingling and cold sensations, and they might fall asleep, but they don't typically see the gods or goddesses I call into the session. And mind you, like, there's traditional Reiki, and then there's people who do Reiki with Wicca, or Reiki with their intuition, or Reiki with other modalities or services along with it, right? And this particular practitioner I was working with, and I still work with her from time to time because she's an incredible practitioner. She's Wicca, and she knows that I'm pretty much open to everything. Like, I don't claim Wicca because it's not something that floats my boat 100%, but I finagle a little bit of this, a little bit of that, whatever floats my boat. Take a little bit of everything. I hang out with Hecate every now and then because she's an incredible goddess to work with, you know. I'd educate yourself on working with her before you do it, because she'd rip you a new one real quick. But I got into spirituality through that first, and it was very, very helpful, because that's where I educated myself on what shadow work was. And that will be my next video, what shadow work and the ego and all that is. And that's where the crying on the bathroom floor nights began, because that's where you start integrating your shadow, and that's when you're like, oh, spirituality. It's not love, light, and rainbows. It's seeing yourself. And I was like, okay, this is fun, but in a great way. And I'll never forget the day that she said to me, well, what I said to her was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And she's like, you don't really got a choice. You're in it now. I was like, I know I am. I know I'm in it now. And there's been plenty of days on my path where I've thought, like, I don't want to do this anymore. But that's the thing about consciousness. Like, once you expand your consciousness to a certain point, you can't go backward. It's like, you see it. you fucking see it. Like, it is there. And that's a good thing, though. That's a really good thing. I don't regret any of it. I don't regret my accident. I don't regret the people I've met on my path. I don't regret any of the trauma I don't regret any of it. Any of it. Because I love who I am becoming every day, every moment of every day. And it's just giving me the opportunity to share that with somebody out there, you know? And that's the point of it, you know, regardless of if we're strangers or if we're acquaintances or best friends or family or soulmates or enemies. Is there really such thing as enemies, or is it really just that we see parts of ourselves in each other that we don't like, and so in turn we dislike each other or come up with reasons to push each other away? You know what I'm saying? It's just giving us the opportunity to help each other. So that's what I want this channel to be about. But that's basically what my awakening was. It was a really big brain injury where I was stuck by myself for a year, because after that accident, I came home and I only stayed with that person. We were only together for like 3 months, and I spent the other 6 months recovering by myself in my apartment. Then I spent the year after that on self-discovery, right? And integrating my shadow. And that's when I quit my corporate job. I woke up one day, had a massive anxiety attack, and called my boss, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And I had an incredible job. I worked for the 3rd largest media company in the country, straight out of college, was making really good money, and I can't do this anymore. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do. And I was just fiddling around on Amazon, and I was like, oh, Rider-Waite Tarot Deck. Yeah, sure. I bought it. And I just uploaded a video to YouTube one day, and I was like, oh, people are watching this? Okay. And I just fiddled. I was just playing around. I was just doing what made me happy. And here we are. Just doing what makes me happy. It was scary. It was really scary. I didn't tell my parents for probably like 3 months that I quit my corporate job. I didn't tell anybody. I was just doing what I wanted to do. I just was trusting myself that everything was going to be okay, and trusting the universe that everything was going to be okay, and that in itself was really scary. And sometimes it still is. Like right now it's really scary because we're having a kind of like a shadow back to what that was with this last eclipse season we just had. It was shadowing back to 2018. And so it was really, I don't know, it was interesting just to look back on that, you know. It was. And ironically enough, that person recently contacted me again. That person from my accident. And I was like, you would be reaching out to me right now. I'm trying to sneak back in. Yeah, it's okay. But I hope you guys look forward to this series as much as I do. The next video will be about shadow work and healing and the ego, and I'm just gonna be myself in these videos. I'm not gonna really edit them or like do anything crazy to them. I'm just gonna be myself because that's what it's about. I'm not gonna do any like facade or masks or any of that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna do what floats my boat, and hopefully that encourages you to just be yourself, you know, just not in a rude way of like, I don't give a shit what people think. No, just be yourself. Just be a nice, kind, loving person, and remember that we all have something going on, and just be gentle. Be gentle with people. Just be gentle with people. And just take a step back sometimes and remind yourself that sometimes it's just better to focus on your own little world and remind yourself that you're a priority too, and not to consume yourself so much with what's external to you. Like go outside, sit in the sun, sit by water, right? With a cute puppy. Hey, cute little puppy. Let me show you my doodle bug, because you're going to be seeing a lot of her throughout these videos. Come here, little munchkin. This is Doodle. This is Dixie. She's sweetie. She jumped up the other day, and I guess she hurt her groin muscle or something, because she's not jumping as much, but she's doing good. She's doing good. I think it's because she got a little chunky, honestly. So we're walking her a little more, so she slims down, you know, get that summer bod. She'll be good. She'll be good. Right, baby? Right, baby? Okay. Shake it off. Okay, I love you. No, now you want to play. Okay, we'll go play. We'll go play. Okay, I love you. Have a great day, and ask questions. Ask whatever you want. Whatever floats your boat. I hear you. We're gonna go play. I gotta say bye to my people. Bye to my tribe. Okay? So needy. Lord. Okay, I love you. Later, Gator.